Attention realtors, title, mortgage, what they're not telling you about the NAR lawsuit and how it affects you. Well, here's the reality. Everybody's moved to settle. Berkshire Hathaway will settle shortly. Then all the lawyers will have had their money and real estate will be forever changed. Here's the reality. Pendulums always swing too far. Now they've swung to a place where nobody's going to offer cooperative commission. Nobody has to offer cooperative commission. Now, it will take years for that to come into play. And in some markets, it may always be a little bit of a blended rate. But the reality is consumers are asking these questions now of themselves. This whole lawsuit was way too loud. Everyone's heard it now. So now let me ask you something. The brokerages have already taken their hit. They've swung that pendulum back to saying, nope, sellers don't have to pay anybody if they don't want to. They're leaving that to the realtor. Then you've got the associations. They can no longer save it, leaving that to the realtor. So let me tell you what this actually means. You need to become an absolute ninja with your value proposition. You've got to be able to explain in a succinct, simple way to your consumer what your value is, what the actual scenarios are that may happen, and if so, how you're going to work with them or for them and get paid. If you can't do that in a succinct, clear, value-based manner, start looking for another job today, because that's going to be the career. Secondly, who are your lender partners today? I know with me, I'm talking to people like Mutual of Omaha, people that understand they've got to be helping a way that the realtor can ensure they get paid on the buy side. I talk to big partners like Jason Mitchell, one of the largest privately held brokers in the United States. Jason's working with his lenders on how they can bundle opportunity from the lender to the realtor. Institutions like lending are going to find packages that make sense for those buy-side realtor-based entities. Now, if your lender isn't thinking that way, if they're like, yeah, I don't know how you're going to get paid, but can you get me a loan? I'm telling you, start looking at a different lender. Lending institutions, elite teams with quality messaging are going to be who changes this marketplace. And it won't change until that knowledge and advice starts getting out there. And believe me, it's already starting to trickle out. Over the next 60 days, you're going to hear more and more about it from the consumer. And then when the bigger entities who touch consumers way more often than a realtor doing 8 to 10 deals a year, when those big entities start to say, here's how we're going to handle this process and this program for folks that we work with, then you've got to align yourself with the right platform, the right ecosystem, the right program. Ask yourself, it's not going to be the brokerages. They're not going to do it. It's not going to be the single agents. They can't get together between a million of them and now here's how we're all going to talk. It's going to be the lending institutions, the elite teams, and the people that actually train and coach on what actually needs to be said today, such that the consumer realizes you are indeed of value. Are you aligned with those people today, or are you moving farther away from it? The choice is yours. The choice you make in the next 2 months will determine your career for the next 10 years.